Hey everyone, and welcome. So, you've got your sights set on that big SHRM certification, huh? Well, you've come to the right place. Today, we're going to lay out a super clear strategic roadmap that's designed to walk you right through the CP and SCP exams. And do it with confidence. So, let's dive right in. All right, here's what our journey together looks like. First, we're going to figure out which path is right for you, the CBP or the SCP. Then, we'll get into some seriously smart study strategies. After that, we'll talk about the key competencies you absolutely have to master. And you know what? Finally, we'll arm you with a solid game plan to totally conquer test day. You know, the very first step on this whole roadmap is a pretty big one. You have to decide which exam is the right fit. And this isn't a random choice. It needs to line up perfectly with your professional experience and, where you are in your HR career right at this moment. So that brings us to the big question, right? The one every single candidate has to face. Are you going to go for the SHRM Certified Professional, the CP, or the Senior Certified Professional, the SCP? Let's really break down the difference between them. Okay, so the real difference here, it all boils down to your role's focus. The SHRM-CP, that's really built for early to mid-level HR pros. The folks whose work is mainly operational. We're talking implementing policies, managing those day-to-day HR functions. But on the flip side, the SHRM-SCP is for senior-level leaders. Their focus is all about strategy, designing the policies and aligning the entire HR function with the business goals. So just ask yourself, am I mostly an implementer or am I a strategist? Your answer is going to point you straight to the right exam. So once you've picked your path, it is time to get ready. But listen, this isn't about endless painful hours of cramming. No way. The key here is to study smarter, using techniques that are actually proven to work for long-term retention and, most importantly, practical application. And one of the most powerful techniques, seriously, is something called active recall. Instead of just passively rereading your notes, you have to actively pull the information out of your brain. Think flashcards or maybe explaining a concept out loud to someone or even to your dog. So why does this matter so much for the SHRM exams? Well, it's because they're competency-based. They test your ability to apply what you know, and active recall is basically the workout your brain needs to make those connections, especially when you're under pressure. So many candidates fall into the same few traps. A huge mistake is just trying to memorize everything. The smart move? Practice applying concepts to real-world scenarios. Another big one is ignoring those behavioral competencies, like leadership and ethics. No, you've got to weave them into every single topic you study. And finally, whatever you do, do not skip the practice exams. Simulating test day conditions is absolutely crucial for building the stamina and the confidence you're going to need. The million-dollar question, how much time do you need? I get this one all the time. And honestly, the truth is, it's different for everyone. The right amount of prep really depends on your experience, your schedule, and your own study style. The key isn't really the total number of hours you clock, but having a structured, consistent plan. So to give you some structure, you can think about it in 3 basic ways. There's a 4-week plan, which is like an intense sprint. It's best for really experienced HR pros who kind of know most of the material already. An 8-week plan gives you a more balanced approach. That's usually the sweet spot for most candidates. And for those of us with super busy lives, a 12-week plan offers a steady, much more manageable pace. It's all about finding the one that actually fits your life. Okay, now let's talk about mastering those competencies. Because beyond just the technical knowledge, the SHRM exams are really testing a specific mindset. It's about how you think and how you act as an HR leader. So let's take a quick look at 3 of the most critical ones. First up is leadership. And look, real influence, it's not about your title. It's about being able to connect HR's work to what the company actually needs to achieve strategically. When you propose a new employee engagement program, are you just framing it as a nice-to-have? Or are you showing how it directly drives productivity and lowers turnover? That difference right there, that's what the exam is looking for. Next up, ethical practice. And let me be clear, this one is completely non-negotiable. Integrity is the absolute foundation of the trust that everyone, employees and leaders alike, places in you. The exam is going to throw some really tricky scenarios at you, but just remember this. The right answer will always be the one that upholds fairness, confidentiality, and just unshakable ethical principles. And finally, business acumen. You have to be able to speak the language of the business. And you know what? That language is often data and finance. It's all about translating your awesome HR programs into a clear return on investment or ROI. The goal is to be able to answer questions like, how did our new wellness program reduce our healthcare costs? Or what was the productivity gain from our latest training? That's what this competency is all about. All right, you've done the prep, you've mastered the competencies, now it's all about execution. Let's shift gears to that final stage, a practical, boots-on-the-ground game plan for the day of the exam itself. This is all designed to build your confidence and make sure you perform at your absolute best. Here is your test day game plan. First, just get rid of any stress you can. Show up early, or if you're taking it remotely, check all of your tech the day before. During the exam, pace yourself. You've got less than 2 minutes for each question, so keep moving. Now the flag for review button, that is your best friend. Seriously, if you get stuck on a tough question, flag it and move on. Don't let one hard question throw you off your game. And then, at the end, make sure you save the last 15 to 20 minutes to circle back and review all those questions you flagged. This strategy keeps you moving and it will maximize your score. So, we've walked through the entire roadmap, from picking your exam and studying smart, all the way to mastering those competencies and planning for test day. You've seen the whole path from preparation to certification. Really, the only question left is, are you ready to take that next step? For those of you who are, the complete, super detailed roadmap is available for you right now. The SHRM-CP and SHRM-SCP Exam Prep Study Guide, written by Matthew Welcher, is your comprehensive guide to everything we've talked about today, plus so much more. It is packed with practice questions and proven strategies to help you pass with confidence. You can find it right now on Amazon, and get this, it's also coming soon as an audiobook narrated by Tom Brooks on audible.com. Best of luck on your certification journey.